I mean, here's the reality that I think a lot of people need to know on social media, and I think you and I know this, is that the difference between the viewers and the content producers is very slim. And believe it or not, a lot of times the viewers have a more productive, balanced, stable life than the content producers. They're just really good at making their content, talking, putting their stuff out there. A lot of these guys are given like it's just stupid cliches. I was thinking about this one the other day. I was thinking about now look, we all should be healthy. We should all go after that. We shouldn't be fat, right? I have weight to lose. I should do that. I can admit that. I'll see guys online that say, don't listen to anyone who doesn't have less than 10% body fat.
What?
Or like 12% or whatever, it doesn't matter. Here's the whole thing. Like, I know dudes that are ripped, that are emotional wrecks, and they can show a single line receipt. Right? It's like one single thing. Like they produced $100,000 this year on some online business. I've done that before, big whoop. Right? Like, but can you sustain a business for years? These guys are telling you how to raise your kids. They got a couple 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds? You can tell people how to raise kids? You're like, you haven't raised a kid till they're an adult, right? Like I was telling my publisher, I'm not going to write a book on fatherhood till I have grandkids that are worshiping God in church.
I was just going to say that, Michael. You mentioned that on the last stream. Exactly what you just said.
I can't do it. I can't do it. All this stuff is so many of these guys, like every little success they have, they turn into a big thing, into a course or whatever, and talk about it. But then when any of you that know them in their real life, like number one, they're not exceptional. And sometimes they're like a total wreck. Like it takes a certain type of person to build an online brand.
So would you tell these guys to show their receipts, Michael?
I don't care about those guys. But I mean, what I'd say is like, where's your happy marriage? How many of these guys
show the receipts?
Yeah, right. How many of these guys have happy marriages? Oh, you can't have happy marriages. Well, I do. Well, there's no way you have a happy marriage. She's probably I bet those kids aren't your kids. They're freaking clones of me, man. Have you seen them? Oh, well, I bet it's like it's a dead bed. It's all right. I'm not complaining. Oh yeah. What they can't, they're just like feminists. Like feminists can't believe that there's happy marriages. So many of these guys in the red pill can't believe that there's happy marriages. Oh, well, you just got lucky. It wasn't luck. I worked for this. We worked hard at our marriage. It wasn't. Now, I'm not going to lie. I got married at a particular time, and it wasn't quite as challenging as now. Like I'll give credit. Like younger men it's a difficult environment you're in, but these people need young men discontent and unstable to keep them watching their content because they don't got anything that speaks to how to live a productive family life, how to build a legacy. That's not they're like, they keep you in the same grade, man. They need you retarded. They need you stupid. So you'll keep repeating the same grade. They can't have you find out that a lot of this is a grift, it's a lie to keep you discontent and stuck. And there's a way actually to get beyond them, and they don't believe it. But they're wrong. I do it all the time. I officiate marriages. I do counseling. I know a lot of young couples that got married are very happy, and marriages are awesome, and they're having kids, and they're in their 20s. You can do it. It's hard. I get that. But these guys are merchants of misery. Because
Michael, you gotta repeat that one, man. What was merchant?
These guys are merchants of misery. That's their product.
That is deep.
That one, man.
You gotta trademark that. Trademark that. Put that on a shirt.
The red pill guys so what you realize if you listen to Rolo and those guys, they're 15-year-olds on TRT that learned a couple $10 words.
Do the work.
Right. I mean, like praxology, big whoop, dude. Right. Like I watched that guy interact on Twitter, and he doesn't know basic philosophy or ethics, basic stuff. Seriously, it was like the number of fallacies committed in a couple moments. And these are basic logical fallacies that anyone that has had any training should know. But they don't. How do you not just find a woman? How do you not just have a good intimate life? How do you actually build a legacy? Which one of them is building a legacy? What's your legacy? Like, which one of those guys do I want to be like? That's what I would tell any of them. I'm like, you guys can say whatever you want. I don't want to be like any of you.
That's
Like,
like
that doesn't mean I can't learn anything, but I look at your life and my life, and like, I'm not trading anytime soon. Can I this is the notes from a talk that I plan to give at 21, but I just wasn't ready yet, and I still haven't mastered it. But I've got this category for guys. I call them alpha gurus, and so I call them alpha gurus. They're men who present themselves as experts who have what you need, which they claim is data and technique, and they are pseudo fathers that present themselves as heroic figures to whom you owe your life, or at least your unquestioned loyalty. I call them alpha gurus because they present themselves as models of masculine mastery, usually for hire. And then I was going to contrast alpha gurus with fathers, like a good father with the alpha guru. Fathers want you to master yourself. Alpha gurus want to master you. Fathers discipline you towards your good. Alpha gurus discipline you towards their goals. Fathers want you to grow into a peer and eventually even eclipse them, right? I want my boys to go farther than me. Alpha gurus want you to remain a devotee and never outdo them in anything. Fathers want you to be your own man on your own mission that is keeping with discipline and the ethics that they passed on to you. Alpha gurus want you to be one of their guys who helped them manage their mission they called you to. And I think as I look out there at these guys that are influencers, there are these alpha guru egomaniacal narcissists that want men dependent on them. And what we need is guys that at least have that fatherly spirit that says, I don't want to own you. I want to raise you up. I want you to become a peer. I want to help you stabilize. And that's, if the manosphere is to be something positive, it's to capture that fatherly or brotherly spirit that says, let me lift you up. Let me help you become a more stable, godly man, a man that can produce, a man that I can learn from. But these guys, these merchants of misery, they want to keep you. They're like, you know how in those old movies, if you save his life, he owes you his life. That's how they think, right? That's not how a father thinks. A father thinks the sense that you owe him your life. A son, like my son, owes me their life. I created them, but the way they owe me is that they're going to go out there
and do
and be excellent on their own, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what we got to cultivate. We got to shut down the alpha gurus and stop giving them money and clicks and content and realize that so many of them are posers, and get free, solid content out there from guys that maybe don't have it all figured out, but are honest men, at least transparent. And that will change the dynamic, I think, in these spaces.